Hello, everyone. I hope you are having a blessed day. And today I'll be reading from Isaiah 60, verse 22. The least one shall become a clan, and the smallest one a mighty nation. I am the Lord. In its time, I will hasten it. So, this verse really encourages us because I know there are a lot of people, it is extremely easy for us to lose hope when we have this desire that might be from the Lord, but it just doesn't happen. It doesn't unfold how we might want it to, or we might be, a lot of us actually, we might be in a waiting season. So some of these favorable changes that might happen later on in our lives, they can include a relationship, it can be a new career path, it can be a health, our finances, whatever. So this verse, as a whole, it gives us two things. So number one, it gives us hope regarding those things, regarding those blessings that we want God to bless us with. And the second one is it gives us someone who we can trust. So now I've broken this verse down into smaller pieces. So the first part, the least shall become a clan. So what this really tells us is how God has already spoken about some of the things that might happen in our future. And we have the second part, which is I am the Lord. So this really points out God's almightiness, or his glory, how powerful he really is. Like, he is the one who reigns over both heaven and earth. He is in control and he knows what he's doing. So all we need to do is just trust in him. Now, I know that's a lot easier said than done. But when we do that, he promises the wait is going to be worth it. And the final part is, in its time, I will hasten it. So we learn here that God has a plan for each and every single person on this planet. His timing is perfect. His timing and our timing, they are not in sync. That's why his word, it really tells us to realign our timing to his timing by trusting in him, by not acting out of impatience or impulse, but instead bearing fruits of the Spirit. So we are waiting patiently for the Lord's timing to take place, for his will to be done in our lives, for his plans to unfold how he wants them to unfold, instead of taking matters into our own hands. He also sees our past, our present, and our future simultaneously. So, of course, he's going to know what's best for us. And because he sees our entire lifespan at the same time, he just knows when the right timing is he knows when the right thing should happen. He knows the right time or the right moment for the right thing. So I'm just having a look at my notes here because I was literally studying this verse earlier this morning. So what we need to understand is that God is intentional, and he knows that what we should understand is whatever it is that we're waiting for, whatever blessing we want the Lord to bless us with, if we needed it, we would have it. Now, okay, so yeah, God is intentional. If he knew that we needed this blessing, he would give it to us. But the fact that a lot of us might still not have this blessing, so some of us might want to might want our love lives to initiate, right? We might want to be in a relationship. We might want to be with our future spouse. But the fact that we're not in a relationship just yet, that is often a sign that God still has some work in us, that God might still have some work to do in us. So it might be letting go of that bitterness. It might be forgiving. It might be humbling ourselves. It can be letting go of that lust, right? Because when since God is intentional, and he also wants us to, he delights in blessing us with these wonderful gifts, but he first has to position us. He first has to prepare us and to mold us into the version of ourselves that can steward these blessings. So in the case of you desiring a relationship, before God can give you that future spouse, before he can give you that girlfriend, that boyfriend, he first needs to make sure that you will be able to lead that person closer to him. And at the same time, he also has to make sure that they will be able to lead you closer to him, right? So stewardship is really important when it comes to blessings, because if we try and take matters into our own hands, then at the end of the day, it's like that path, that blessing is going to turn out to be a burden. It's going to fall into pieces. So that's why we need to seek God's counsel first. That's why we need to trust in the Lord, to trust in his timing and not our own, because our knowledge is limited, but his knowledge, it has no bounds. Like, he is literally all knowing. So that's why we need to turn to him. We need to rely on him, depend on him, and not on ourselves. And the important thing that we need to understand is, when we rely on God's timing, we are avoiding making rash decisions. We are avoiding acting out on impatience or impulse. So I feel like there's something else that I need to say, but and also, we often forget that we need to trust in God because he is all powerful. Like, in one of the earlier chapters in the book of Isaiah, he says, he will make a way in the wilderness and rivers in the desert. So I think that might be in Isaiah 55, I think, I'm not sure, but it's definitely in there. So I hope that this message encourages you, and I may not know who's on the other side of the screen, but if you are waiting on a blessing, which you most probably are, then just make sure that you just wait patiently on God's timing, and know that he's in control. Know that if you needed it, if he knew you needed it, you would have it. But if you don't have it, then that's most probably because you might not yet be ready to receive that blessing. So, or it can be the other way. It might be that, so anyways, I hope this message encourages you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. God bless.